guard against the mentality of, well, after what you went through last season, here we go again, or how do you address that?
I mean, obviously it's tough. Tough losing a player like that. Knowing DeMarcus is going to do everything that he can, and the doctors say that he can get back and be a part of the team whenever that is. Yeah, that sucks. Obviously, we know what he means to this team and to this defense. But at the end of the day, yeah, we're not going to sit here and think about last year and try to compare the two or worry about going down that slope. That was then and this is now. We know we've got to get better with what we have. There's an opportunity for guys to step up, and we're going to need that. We're going to need the young guys to step up and get the experience and get ready to play to help us later in the year, even when DeMarcus is back, to be able to have waves of guys with experience.
Have you got a chance to watch, what you did in that first game? What did you come away with thinking? I mean, because on the outside it looks like that might have been the best game you've ever had. Did you feel that way?
I thought it was a pretty good game. I don't know if I could say the best game that I had. Once I'm done with games, I usually just wipe them clean, so it's tough to compare them if you're wanting me to do that. But we didn't get the win, and I'm not going to hold on any time that we don't get the win or say that was one of my best games. So that's what's important to me at this position. You have to help your team out. You got to do whatever it takes to get the win. And there's a lot of plays in that game that I can go back and say I could have done better, or I could have done this or that I think results in us winning the game.
Unfortunately, had some practice not having Lyle out there. What's your impression now of Terrence Steele as opposed to where he was when you were still healthy last week?
Yeah, he's definitely a better player. That comes with experience. That comes with the work that he puts in. I know he was one of our off-season award winners just by the way that he attacks the weight room, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster. And all that is obvious when you come out here and you watch him and you watch him just getting better. So he's definitely an improved player, and excited for him to take advantage of his opportunity as well.
Does it alter what you look for or how you play at all when you lose an anchor in the offensive line?
Well, I mean, when you lose an anchor, it's tough. But we're not going to sit there and change the whole game plan and change everything that we do up because of that. Terrence has gotten better, as we said, and he's taken a lot of pride in his role and his responsibility on this team, and he's going to step up to the challenge.
Dak, were you surprised at all by your apparent lack of rust in that first game? Were you surprised how well you played?
No, I mean, I didn't think that I would have rust, to be honest. I mean, I've been preparing for that game, preparing for this season since, I don't know, February, so maybe even January. The moment I started walking again, I got my foot back onto the ground. So there was a lot of work that went into that and that's went into this season that I'm not going to be surprised by anything. I think that just comes with my preparation and everything that I've put into this game.
Last time we were out here talking to you a little over a week ago, you talked about how, even when some of the back receivers stepped in, you guys haven't really missed a beat. What does it look like with Cedric out there, and what do you expect of him on Sunday?
Yeah, no difference than, as you just said last week. He's a guy that's going to step in for Gallup the right way. He obviously came in the back end of that game and did some things for us, did what was necessary. And he's a great receiver, and he's going to be a great receiver for a long time. He's probably one of our best prepared receivers, studies the game really well. He's a student of the game, was once a quarterback, so he kind of sees the game from that instance as well. And he's a talented player. So knowing that he's out there, we've got another weapon. It's not like we've had a fall off or anything. None. Just continued through my process of everything that I've been doing for the last few weeks and the month or so. And when you train, you put everything into the game, into the throwing motion, whether it's the hips and all of that. You do that so your arm doesn't get sore. You do that so you're able to go 50 reps or whatever it is that's required for us to win a game or to be in a game. And yeah, it's just been sticking to the process and knowing that I've got to keep going. I've got to keep strengthening it, got to keep stretching, and I can't miss a beat or slow down just because I threw it so many times in the game or think that I'm good, I guess.
What's up with the MRIs every 2 weeks? We heard that in the broadcast. I guess you would talk to Schultz about that every 2 weeks.
That was in the past. I think that was just a little misunderstood, as I did that for about three MRIs or so once I had the injury for that next 6 weeks to make sure that it healed the right way, but those are gone.
So you're not doing that
No,
now?
no.
Now that this first game's out of the way with the months and months of build-up, how do you kind of shift the mindset to the sort of weekly approach that you were used to before all this build-up?
Yeah, to be honest, I've been on kind of the weekly approach. We've got a great great mental coach in Chad Bowling, and that's something that I've done with him since I've been hurt, is calculate my wins and losses weekly, just from the goals and the things that I put on myself or that I put around me within starting on Monday, and then usually ask me on Sunday, and I give them a win or a loss. So that's something that I've been doing, and obviously going into or being in year 6, that's what you play this game for. You got to have a quick, short memory, and you've got to let things go, whether it's a win or a loss, a good performance or a bad performance. You've got to move forward and know you've got another opportunity this week and each day to get better and become a better team, and that's our focus, is just staying true and sticking to the process.
Do you lose some key players on the other side of the ball? Do you have to fight the urge to we have to do more as an offensive unit to pick up the slack, or is it just being more aware of your opportunities you've got to cash in when you get them in the third down, red zone?
I think just being more aware of our opportunities and taking advantage of them. As I said, and go back to that game, and there's things that obviously, like I said, I felt like I could have done to help us win the game. Small plays that end up maybe being big plays, and so that's the thing. Scoring touchdowns in the red zone, making sure that you're converting the third downs that are much easier than the longer ones, and not putting them in bad situations by turning over the ball or doing something because you're trying to do too much. And we trust that side. We trust that side of the ball and everything they're doing, so we've got to play complementary football and help them out.
When you go back and look at that first drive coming back from injury, even more, of course, that you don't think of the small things or what it means in the moment. When you go back and you look at it, you said you can see it in your eyes that it meant something to you. Walk us through what that first drive, that first pass meant to you since thinking about that game going back to January.
I mean, it all meant something to me. Yeah, maybe you saw it in my eyes at the beginning, but I bet the last play, the same fire was there. This game means a lot to me. I mean, this is something that's just always given me pure joy, and something I've done since I was a little boy. And my mom used to say I eat, sleep, and breathe football, and nothing's changed. So I love what I do, and I like to go out there and take advantage of those opportunities. So much goes into Monday through Saturday that once I get out there on Sunday, I'm having fun, and as I said, just blessed to be out there and have the opportunity after missing so much to get back out there and do it with the guys that I care so much about.
As you're saying, you and the team are focused on last year, but given how it unfolded, how important is it to reinforce this is going to be a different season as early as possible? Is that a hurdle you need to get through early?
No, I mean, I think guys and everybody knows it's going to be a different season. That's kind of the expectations that you set at the beginning of the year. Last year was last year. We're going to be aware of it, but it's not something that we're going to hold on to. It's not something that we're going to always be trying to battle against, and we're going to let that be last year. We've got different expectations, goals, and perception of how this year is going to play out. Yeah, I mean, I think that's already have been the message. I think last year set it alone, all the injuries and everything that happened, and you look in the last 2 games, and we had an opportunity to make the playoffs, and everything was still in front of us. So last thing you can dwell on is what's happened. I've learned that personally. I think this team has learned that last year, and that usually, and I think it will, make us better because of what we've been through.
Going back to your rookie season, one thing that always stood out to me was how big you were on manifestation and your mindset. How much has all of that helped get you through some of the twists and turns in your 6 years here in Dallas?
I mean, that's been my answer, to be honest with you. That's how I answer anything, good or bad, is by putting it behind me, learning from it, using it as fuel, and then manifesting the good, manifesting the success of the team or myself personally or just whatever it is, putting that in my brain and hoping that visualizing it and allowing it to come forward. And I think I've learned that and been that way because of experience, because of things that I've been through, and I've had to do that. And I've realized that when you do that, you get the best from it. And so, yeah, everything. I mean, so many ways. I mean, I think just having somebody like that to talk to, just to talk about past experience and talk about how I've gotten better from them personally, the small things, talk about winning the small victories. As I was saying earlier, from waking up in the morning to putting my head down at night, there's so many little victories that I can't take for granted. And that's something that I'm very aware of, and I'm thankful for them. And I know when they happen, I acknowledge them, but then I move on quick and look for the next small win. I mean, we talk often, but usually we're texting every Sunday just to clean that up, but we talk often.
Kellen expressed real confidence that red zone wasn't where you guys wanted on Thursday, but there's real belief in what this team will be this year in the red zone. What do you see in terms of this offense in the red zone this season, and what
Yeah, I mean, we just got to be cleaner. We've got so many weapons, and we've got a great scheme. Kellen does a good job of putting us all in the best situations. I think last week we just missed some opportunities, whether it was missing a throw here or, yeah, I mean, maybe missing a block or whatever it may be, right? That we had opportunities to cash in and we didn't, but we're going to learn from them. Obviously, we're going to move forward and use that as a way to get better. And yeah, we've got so much in the tank. We've got so many great red zone plays. That was something big that we went into this offseason focusing on. So we're just going to put our hand in the bag and pull out our tricks and everything that we've got, and know that we've got a lot of improvement is going to come.
It seems like there has been more situational work in practice throughout training camp. You mentioned the work in the red zone. How different was that this offseason? Just the focus and the reps on that specific situation?
Yeah, I mean, we're just more focused on that in a sense. Obviously, we worked a lot of situations. That's something Coach McCarthy does, is focuses on the situations, and that's where you win and lose games. Third down, red zone, beginning, first 15, the last few plays of the game, all those situations are the plays that you win or lose into half, right? And so it's important for us to focus on that, and we're very cognitive of it, and we're getting better each and every day that we go out there and we do that.
What's your process with Kellen Moore and his trust in you to, keep the option to check out of these plays and trust what you're seeing as the quarterback on the field?
Yeah, I mean, they put in the plays, and I know what they're looking for versus which coverages, which looks they're bad against. And then it's on me to pretty much make sure that we don't have a negative play or a bad play is not called in a situation that maybe they present us a look we weren't expecting or something of that sort. But we spend a lot of time together, whether it's just the daily meetings or here at the end of the day, we spend a couple hours together or so, and making sure the game plan is where we both feel comfortable with it. We're thinking the same thing in certain situations. I know the plays that I like and I have favorites on, and I tell them that, and we just do a great job of communication, and it's only going to get better. Yeah, definitely a lot of trust. I mean, go back to me as a rookie. Me and Kellen have always talked about plays, talked about different situations and schemes and things that could be brought up that could help us. And so now you look at it, just 6 years fast forward, that's a lot of time and a lot of commitment to each other that we've gotten.
How much does keeping Zeke involved weigh on you in the middle of the game? Is it in your head? Are you thinking about Zeke more involved here? Or?
I mean, Zeke is always involved. You look at those stats in the game, and I understand the runs and the plays that were RPOs that maybe I've thrown it or checked out of, but you turn on the tape and we're not in the game if Zeke doesn't make a lot of those blocks, period. So, I mean, let's give him all the credit in the world for being a part of the game and a part of the scheme, and there's not many backs that can do that time and time again, pick up the blitz and help out the O-line. And so, I mean, he deserves a lot of credit where he's getting 11 carries or he's getting 50 carries or whatever he's doing. He's always a part of our scheme. He means a lot to this offense. Obviously, we want to get the run game going, but in certain games, in certain situations, you're not going to force something that's not there. And that was a good run defense. They weren't number one in rush defense last year for no reason. They're usually one up on you in the box in a number count, and so we weren't just going to run Zeke into a wall over and over again. And when we got a long season ahead, I think that gave us the best opportunity last week of how we handled things, and each week will be different. So it's about moving forward now and going on with the LA Chargers and doing whatever it takes to win this game. I mean, there was tons. I mean, he's picked up the backer in the A-gap a bunch of times, helping linemen off the edge. Yeah, I mean, one time he goes and blocks a guy and gets ready to spin out of that thinking he needs to go block somebody else. So, I mean, you talk about somebody that takes pride in his job, he definitely does that. Whether it's running the ball, protecting the quarterback, or protecting the ball, he's, yeah.
On those RPOs that we were discussing earlier, from your vantage, just what goes into the decision making on which to choose, and do you feel like just with your time in the league and time in this offense, that's something that naturally has become sharper over the course of your years in the league?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, a lot of times it's box counts. A lot of times it's post-snap where a defender does something. If he's running in the box, whip it out, you know what I mean? Throw the screen or the smoke or whatever it is out there. You have those options. Some of them pre-snap, some of them are post-snap. But, yeah, my experience in the league and as well as go back to college. I mean, we ran tons of RPOs in college, so it's something that I feel like I'm just been comfortable with that in general.